You also built an iconic piece in the Susquehanna River, didn't you?
We did.
A Statue of Liberty that you redid, or what was the story behind that?
So that started out as a sort of a joke.
Right.
There was a fellow by the name of Gene Stilp, who's from the Harrisburg area. He's an attorney up there. And he and a bunch of guys got together right about the time that they were dedicating the statue in New York.
Right.
They decided, wow, we need a statue. So they put this thing together with Venetian blinds and plywood, and it from a distance, it really looked
right.
pretty good. And they go out there in the middle of the night, and this is in the middle of the Susquehanna River. It's shallow, but the really rapids, fast rapids. And they go out there in the middle of the night, and then they get up in this bridge pier that is about 25, 30 feet in the air, set this thing up at night, and then the next day, and I remember having the radio on in Harrisburg. I remember that somebody's talking about the statue in the river, and they thought it was a big prank.
Right.
It ended up, it was a prank, but it was real. It was there. Okay.
Right.
So that stayed up for years, and a flood finally washed it away. And everybody, by that time,
it was part of the
loved
landscape,
their
right?
Yeah, they loved their statues. So Gene contacted us and said, what do you think? They were looking to try to do one out of stone.
Right.
Well, that wouldn't work. They couldn't get it out on the thing. So came down, sat down, I took a look at it. And so what we did is we took one of the statues that you buy from New York.
Right, at one of the souvenir shops.
And scanned it with a fare alarm. Back then, they still didn't have the digital laser scanners. We scanned it with a fare alarm. And we did every 3 inches, we did a scan around this thing. And I got a bunch of plywood, and I cut out, at 3 inches, I cut out that profile, and another 3 inches that profile. And we built it up, and then we used expanding urethane foam in it, and that
filled in,
gave it a shape, but then we whittled it all down and carved it down so it would.
How tall is it?
It's about 35 feet, I think. Yeah. And in fact, we had to take it down in sections. We did it in sections. We had to take it down to a place called Fort Hunter, and we assembled it, rented a forklift and assembled it, everything. After it was all done, and we then had a helicopter come in, rigged the helicopter up, took it up, and I've got pictures of this whole thing.
Sure.
And then took it out and set it on the bridge pier in there.
I'll be darned.
Has been there ever since. So,
I'll be darned. And what an icon, Everybody that grew up in that area knows that. They talk about it all the time.
Yeah, the helicopter pilot told me that he really had a little bit of a problem because the water was flowing, and because the rapids were there, it kind of gave it texture, and he was having a little bit of a problem just not getting vertigo.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden.